Hey, welcome back, guys. This is Jason. Last time I talked to you, I said that it was my week 33 update. Well, I was incorrect, and that was my week 32 we were still talking about. Now this will be my week 33 update. Today is May 5th, 2025. In the last video, my last weigh-in was 240.1, which was a new low for me, so that was pretty exciting. Then I woke up on Thursday, which is shot day, and I weighed in for my week 33 check-in at 239.3. So I'm officially down just over 30 pounds now, which is super exciting. Still got a while to go, or still have a ways to go. Now, I haven't done any super long fasts like the one I talked about in my last video, but I have done a lot of 17 to maybe 21, 22 hours of fasting. And then lots of those refeeds, I only refed for, in between like 3 and 5 hours, which is pretty nice because then, you get full pretty quickly. You can only eat so many calories in, a 3 to 5 hour window. I did plan to fast more today, but at work this week, they have it's teacher appreciation week, so they've got lots of food. So I did break my fast today at right around 18 hours. And I fasted pretty much, I'd say 18 was probably pretty solid all the way through the weekend and then up into today. Now I have been waking up every morning, waking up every morning and stepping on the scale just so I can kind of measure where I'm at. So on Thursday of last week, like I said, I weighed in at 239.3, ate, 3 or 4 hours during the day. I think I had a little extra food on Thursday. I didn't really write anything down, so I don't know. And then Friday morning, I was 239.6. Saturday, I did not weigh in. We got up pretty early, went out on the boat, spent the day at the sandbar. I had a pub sub. I think we had ice cream after. We did have ice cream afterwards. Didn't eat too bad. And then woke up Sunday morning and I was 240.7. And then my fast and weigh-in this morning was 239.5. So we're right back down to where I kind of ended up last week. And it's Monday, so hopefully by the time we get to Thursday, a couple more good fasts this week. I did start a fast just a little bit ago. Had a ribeye, hit my timer. Now I'm in the garage making this video, gonna do a little workout. Hopefully I can get a good fast in till Wednesday. And then, I'll weigh in tomorrow also, weigh in Wednesday. And then I'll eat on Wednesday evening or maybe afternoon. We got another boat day planned. And then, maybe hopefully get another good fast into Thursday and then weigh in again on Thursday. And hopefully Thursday we are under the 239.3 mark so I can have another week of weight loss. So if you go from my week 31 weigh-in, 32, the week before, whatever, I was 242. And then this week, my official weigh-in was 239.7, which is 2.7 pounds. That's pretty good. I'm excited about that. I'm happy about that. Hopefully I can, go another week with a 1+ pound weigh-in instead of my 0.9 pound, weigh-in average. But we'll see. We'll keep working hard, figure this out. So a couple things with my doctor's appointment. Doctor was very happy with all my blood work, everything like that. My A1C is down to 5.2. The highest it's been since I've been down here in Florida since 2022 was 5.9. And it was 5.9, then I was 5.4. And then since I've been taking the Zepbound, I'm now down to 5.2. That's pretty good. I've been checking my blood pressure at home and I've seen blood pressures as low as 117 over like 78. I've had a couple of, 117 to 120s. And then at the doctor's appointment, I was 124 over 80, something like that, which is big for me because normally when I go into the doctor's office, my blood pressure goes through the roof. That's why I have a cuff at home, because years ago, my doctor told me I had white coat syndrome, where go into the doctor's office, it's way high, go home, check it, and it's more normalized. Now, for me to have blood pressures in the 120s and the 1 teens is pretty pretty good because I usually run mid 120s to 135, which is kind of like it's always kind of been a normal for me. I'm happy about that. Of course, my doctor talked about, since I eat so much red meat, doctor talked about my cholesterol, which she knows by now that I'm not going to take a statin. I don't worry about my total cholesterol and my LDL. I do worry about my triglycerides and my HDL, which my HDL was 48 and my triglycerides were 90. And I think the triglycerides being 90 is just because I've had more carbohydrates over the last few months. Hopefully, now it comes down a little bit, especially with the fasting. And hopefully my HDL goes up a little bit. From things we've seen with, carnivore doctors and different kind of doctors is you want your HDL to triglyceride ratio to be under 2, I guess, at the, I don't know if the most or the least, whatever. But you want it to be closer to 1 to 1. I'm right now I'm a 1.875, which I think is the best mine's been in the last couple of years. Now, I'll go ahead and tell you that some people might freak out. My total cholesterol was 271 and my LDL was 205. Like I said, the total cholesterol and HDL stuff, or LDL, it's kind of stuff that, we don't really, things we've seen that show that that stuff doesn't really matter in vascular disease and cardiovascular disease. If you don't agree with that, that's cool. So, and everything else with my blood work was normal. I did take 7.5 on Thursday of last week. I don't have any side effects. I don't feel like 7.5 really works all that well for me anymore. If I plan to stay on these long term, I would definitely be going up to 10. I do think the shot is still working for sure, but it's definitely not what it used to be. It used to be, I'd be super hungry on Thursdays, take my shot in the morning, be hungry all day long. Friday I'd wake up and I could barely eat on Fridays. And Saturdays were kind of the same. And I used to it didn't even feel like I'd eat that much, but I feel like I'd be stuffing myself. And I think now I could eat myself through the shot. I could eat my way through the shot for sure now. It's not like I don't think it's working at all, because I do think it's working still. I think fasting is, kind of like my main goal right now, to go along with the shots, and then we'll figure out what my plan is in a little bit. I'm gonna go ahead and work out. Make sure you guys like and subscribe, and I will see you in a couple days. Bye.